Hey, what's up, everybody? Hang on. Of course. I was like, what is that echo going on? What's up, everybody? So excited to be streaming right now. Not only to get another stream in, and a late night stream at that, but trying something new. I actually was able to link the live stream, with my X account. So they're simultaneously streaming now, both on YouTube and X, which is, I know it's not a big deal, but I've always thought about like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to like multicast or simulcast or whatever they call it on both of the platforms, because YouTube and X are probably the most frequent social media platforms that I'm on. And you have to have a premium account on X to be able to live stream, just the way that the software that I use, it's called Ecamm. You have to have a premium account for those two to be able to be linked. And I think it's the rules that X plays just to get you to subscribe. So I've always been like, boo, no, I'm not going to pay money for that. But just recently, they have a promotion. So it's a pretty significant discount to get a premium account on X, pretty cheap, to try it out for a year. So that's what I'm doing. And I was like, oh, now I can connect the YouTube and X and stream at the same time. Hopefully it works. And then I forgot to turn on the switch, and I thought I had to cancel the stream and restart it. It was already a mess to begin with. But I think it's working. It looks like it's working. Even Cranberry Landers jumped in on X and put a comment. So it's kind of crazy because X has it. I don't know if you guys ever watch your streams or watch streams on X, but they have their own comment section that's separate from the YouTube section, and it aggregates it here on Ecamm, so I can see both, which is kind of cool. But if you're just existing on my stream, or you're just in the chat in my stream in YouTube, you're just going to see the YouTube comments. You probably won't see the X comments, and vice versa with the people that are just on X. Anyway, kind of crazy, but kind of cool. So who knows? Just wanted to see if I can, like, get more exposure, reach more people, connecting this to my X account. And it seems like it's working. Nothing has blown up so far. So other than you heard the echo because it was playing through my computer speakers. But that's okay. That's minor. Just as long as nothing blows up. I don't spill any ink. Thank you, Mark's Music Obsession, for mentioning that. Already jinxed me. So hopefully I don't spill any ink tonight. But for anybody who is new to my channel, thank you for coming. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. I don't normally stream at this time, but I just got it in my head of like, I really want to get back to this inking on this Jack Kirby master study. Nighttime's always a good time. The emails stop coming. The phone quiets down a little bit. Text messages slow down a little bit. Everybody's settled in for the night. My family's done. We finished dinner. So I was like, I think I can do it. Like, I'm energized. I really want to get back to the drawing board. It was on my computer all day. So here we are. And welcome. And thank you for joining me, everybody. I did, right before I started the stream, I should have done this a little earlier than when I hit go. But I did notice other people were streaming. Some of you guys frequent other people's streams as well. So apologies to those people who normally stream on Tuesday night. I don't normally do that, but here I am. So anyway, hopefully people can join. No worries if you can't. Or if you're double phoning it or double devicing it, you could do that too. I know some of you guys are pretty good at that. So anyway, I'm so glad to be here. This is a Master Study stream. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. What do I do in a Master Study stream? I'm trying to recreate a legendary artist that I admire in comics. Trying to recreate a piece and do it traditionally. Do it like the original way, being like the size that they draw it. Normally they're drawing on 11 by 17 paper as opposed to, comic size paper. I look at the artwork and then I try and recreate the pencil stage of it. So from scratch. Then once I'm done with the pencils, Then I'll scan in those pencils. I'll treat them in Photoshop to kind of reduce them back, make a blue line print out of it, which is basically printing it out in this like very, very light blue color, cyanish color. And then I'll ink over it using traditional tools. So sometimes that's a pen nib, sometimes that's a ink brush. And in this particular case, for the Jack Kirby Master Study, I am inking it with a sable brush, Winsor Newton Focus. Winsor Newton, there we go. Series 7 size 2 brush, which is kind of a standard in comic book inking from what I've read, from what I've heard from professionals that work in it. I love the way brush inking goes. It's one of my favorite tools in comic creation. And so yeah, and it's worked really well on this Jack Kirby page. Here we are so far. This is where we're at. And if I didn't mention it already, this Jack Kirby Master Study, hang on one second, let me turn off this blur effect. This Master Study is a double pager. So this is the top half, and here are the blue lines for the bottom half, which I will eventually tape the whole thing together. But it's an awesome pinup of Doctor Doom that Jack Kirby did. I actually don't know the year that he did that. I should know that information better. But yeah, so but yeah, Jack Kirby, this is the 10th master study I've done. So in other words, I've done a master study of 9 other comic book artists. Some of them you can see hanging behind me here, displayed on my corkboard. Charles Vess, Frank Miller, Mobius, Barry Windsor Smith, and a couple others I have hung up in my office. Mike Zeck, Michael Golden, Jim Steranko. I know I'm forgetting one. I think I've listed 7 so far. John Byrne. And I know there's one more. I always blank on the last one. Anyway, 10 total. Jack Kirby's the king. That's why he's my 10th master study to do. And here we are. So I usually live stream the process of doing this just because it's fun to show you guys how I would approach drawing a comic book page. And it also allows me to kind of dissect why these artists make these choices that they do. And I learn a lot from that. I used to do that in college, not just with comic art, but with fine art stuff. And it was just a really helpful way to learn from the masters. And then hopefully it's entertaining for you guys, or also cool to see for you guys. It's always neat to see kind of the magic created right before your eyes. And for those of you who have been with me for the long haul, you've seen me make many mistakes on stream as well. So that's part of the fun. And then we just get to hang. Chillax at the end of a day. I don't know if your guys' day was good or not today, but I had kind of a hectic day at the beginning and then ran a bunch of errands in the middle, and then now I just need to chill and draw. So that's where we're at. 700, wait, where are we? Let me just check my 705 subscribers we're at, which is awesome. And again, another reason why I am trying this simultaneous X streaming thing, because just help to build on the people seeing the channel, what this channel is about. And my whole purpose of wanting to do this channel is I just love comics so much. And you guys know how much I just kind of yap away about comics. I love it so much. I think it's an incredible art form. It's an unbelievable way of telling stories. And at heart, that's what I am. I'm a storyteller. And I just love to show it off, to talk about it, to share with people why I like what I do. And I think my motto, I shared this guy with you guys last stream. My motto is I want to elevate comics. I want to lift it up as best as I can beyond just it's like nerdy thing that people do. It's what the nerds do. No, man, it is such a cool art form. And like that trailer that showed at the beginning of the stream of that gallery in New York, the Philippe Labound Gallery, what Philippe is doing is elevating comics into this like revered art form. Like you would look at any art in any gallery, you just have a lot of respect for it when you see it up close and personal, and you understand why the artists are doing what they're doing, and just appreciate the technique and the skill that goes into it. So hopefully my little channel here in the corner of the world will be able to add to that, because that's what I love, and I just love sharing that with you guys all. Anyway, that was a long talk. Let's see who's here. Mark's music obsession is here. That is such a pleasant, it was a pleasant realization that Mark was awake. Maybe he fell asleep in the middle of when I was just yapping away at the beginning of this stream. But Mark was first here in chat. How are you doing, Mark? Awesome that you can join us here. Hopefully you can hang on as long as possible. Mark is 3 hours, I believe 3 hours ahead of me, right? 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. But I'm on the West Coast. So it's always great to see him come in here, because I'm starting the evening as your like end of the evening. And I know you're also an early riser. So great to see you, Mark. And channel member here as well. Emo Trash, great to see the legendary Emo Trash. The derailer in chief, Emo. Are you turning more into it? No, not turning more. I'm pretty sure you are a night owl when it comes to watching streams and all that. You're an all hours person, but it's good to see you here. Good to see you jump in the chat. And saw your conversation about your fish and chips. That's awesome. I love me some fish and chips. I had salmon. I cooked a salmon on top of a salad tonight. But fish and chips sounds like the more enjoyable. Mine was like too healthy. I mean, it was good. I gotta eat more healthy now. It's what my wife and I are realizing in our older age. But fish and chips, man, it's good stuff. Cranberry Langers is here. Cranberry.
This is a cranberry full of power.
And thank you again, Cranberry, channel member here. Thank you for jumping into X and checking that this is working. So let's see. Cranberry says, I'm getting confused what is the best when doing a live broadcast. He says that on X. So I bet you I can find. So the cool thing is on Ecamm's little chat window, it shows me which stream you are in. So see that little icon there at the bottom of Cranberry's, that little X? That's where the comment is coming from. Prove it. So I don't think you guys can see that on the YouTube side. So pretty cool. Let's see if we can leverage this and make this work better. But thanks for being here, Cranberry. Always awesome having you around. Mo Biggs is in the house.
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
And see, he has that little YouTube icon down there. That's the secret. Well, not really the secret, but that's the key, the map. How are you doing, Mo Biggs? Great having you here. Michael Bancroft from the other side of the world is here as well.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I think I asked Michael Bancroft what time. I guess I could Google it myself, what time it is in your neck of the woods. But great seeing you, Michael Bancroft. How's all your fulfillment going? That's been keeping Michael Bancroft busy. If you haven't already checked out his channel, Michael Bancroft is in the thick of fulfillment on his latest campaign, the Lucent comic. Great that you get some time to spend with us here. Here we go. Fries are good and crisp, and the smoke alarm didn't feel the need to go off this time. That's always good when you're cooking stuff. Otherwise, you have to have like the newspaper and, at least in my case, the newspaper and like the stool ready to like climb up and wave around. 1:20 p.m. Okay, cool. So that's in the smack dab in the middle of your Wednesday right now. Oh, comic book day. Perfect. I have a whole list of what comics I'm going to pick up tomorrow. I'm just trying to think if there's any. Oh, there's a couple new ones in there. Oh. Yes. There's a new Absolute Batman coming out. There's been all sorts of videos that I've been watching. I guess Heroes Con just finished this weekend. And there was a lot of people attending that. I've never been to Heroes Con myself, but they had a whole panel that had to do with that had the creators, the show, not showrunners, the creative team behind the Absolute series, like Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta was there, the writer on Absolute Catwoman was there, a few other people. I mean, a lot of big names showed up, and they gave out some new news for Absolute Batman, and just the craze of that train has been going on, and they revealed a new character of, well, not a new character, but a new version of a character, the Batgirl in that version, or Barbara Gordon, the Batgirl in that version, the Absolute universe. They're just going to call her the Bat, but she's kind of doing it in, like, taking on the mantle of this vigilante. She kind of takes the role of Batman a little bit in this show, or in the comic. So anyway, they released some image in there. It looked cool. Super excited about it. They just have this whole world planned out to keep going for many, many years, it seems like. Mo Big says, Rocky, in Britain, they would call the fries chips and call the chips crisp and call cookies biscuits and have no actual biscuits. Yeah, there's a lot of weird linguistic differences. I think America is probably the worst as far as words that don't make sense. And I hear that a lot from my wife and my kids as well. Just telling me, like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't defend that. We're a melting pot of people, cultures, and languages, and yeah, it's all over the map here as far as why words are pronounced a certain way, why certain words are silent, certain letters are silent in words and not silent in others, why certain combinations are pronounced a certain way and not pronounced a certain way. It's all doesn't make any sense. Mark's music obsession made it through the intros awake. Awesome. That's great. That's an accomplishment in itself. Was that the X screen that was extra? It was, yes. And hopefully it's not echoing anymore. Good day, Jeffrey Beats.
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
Our Australian quota is complete. We did it, guys. We completed the Australian puzzle. How are you doing, Jeffrey Beats? I heard that it is now 1:40 in your neck of the woods. So you might be right in the middle of work as well. Thanks for joining. Mo Big says, I'm not going to pay money for that. You sound like my policy on YouTube memberships. Yes. When X first announced that they were going to a subscriber model, it was just like, are you kidding me? It's like when you give something to the public for so long that's free, and then all of a sudden you turn around and charge for it. That's a tough pill to swallow, and I get that. I think for me, it's just like the way that they reconfigured X, formerly Twitter, all the extra functionality. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. If you want to pay a subscription fee, you get now these extra features. That's kind of how you entice or incentivize people to start paying money. None of the features I really needed. I don't need to write long posts on X. I don't really need to monetize my posts on there. I don't really need to edit my post. I don't post that much on X. Most of it's just kind of goofy comic stuff. So it wasn't necessarily like a soapbox for me to let my thoughts known to the world. So all those kind of functionality didn't really matter. But the whole streaming at the same time as YouTube, that one was like, oh, that would be really cool to do. And I never could do it because I didn't have that premium membership. So, yeah, and then they would have these like discounts of like, oh, the first couple months they'll give you 50% off. And I was like, that's not enough. Well, this new discount, I believe it's like 40% off for the entire year. So I was like, okay, that's enough of a discount that'll get me to bite. So we'll try it out, see how it happens, or see if it does anything, moves the needle. And if it doesn't, then I'll just go back to cheapo freebies. Yep, there was the X comment. Good day, all. Jeffrey Beat says, getting confused is the best when doing a live broadcast. For you or for me? People rarely watch on X, but they will see that you're streaming. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's like enough that will... Because, yeah, X isn't really built enough. The format isn't built primarily for streaming. But I think, yeah, just to get people go, oh, because there has been times when I've seen like so-and-so streaming and then I'll click on it and get shot to YouTube or whatever. So that's kind of the goal for me. The phone calls have stopped. Your family's down for the night. One of your cats is fed. Both of my cats are fed. Both of my cats are probably sleeping right now too. So yeah, it's quiet. It's going to be great. I'm interrupting Bancroft's scream. I hope not. Afternoon time here in Meanjin. Who will win in the soccer on Friday? Australia versus Rocky Squad. I haven't watched soccer at all. Unfortunately. I think I'll probably start watching when it gets closer to like deeper into the bracket. But I should watch USA because historically USA has not been great or hasn't gone far in any of these international competitions. But I heard they're doing decent right now. I heard there's some guy, there was a name I heard on the radio. Some guy was doing really good. But they seem to be doing better than anybody expected. And I did hear that Australia was in our bracket. I think it was Australia and Turkey. And I think Australia beat Turkey, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But that sounds cool. Maybe I will watch it. Saturday morning there. So I guess Friday here. Yep. Maybe I will watch it. Mark says Pig Feeder Lady has the basket lowered. That's crazy. I don't even know how to comment on that. Since when does Bancroft scream on Tuesdays? Ugh, you guys. He was drawing the backside of the Olam's cloak. Michael Bancroft was, I think is what Cranberry's talking about. Not since the old lockdown days. Yeah, I used to stream 5 or 6 nights in a week in those days. Dang. I don't know how people do it. It is fun. I think, yeah, there's people that, wait, why are your 2 comments? Interesting. Sorry, I was just looking at the formatting of that. What was I saying? Oh, the streaming. Yeah, like there's people that like commit to streaming every day, and I don't necessarily see that in comics as much as other subjects that people do, like news or sports. And that's cool, but yeah, that takes up a lot of time. And unless you're doing it full time, I don't even know how you can carve that out. So that is fun. And that does build a nice momentum. And it kind of changes how you plan your shows. You guys know I'm always like formulating, trying to think of ways to do things. I was looking up a couple different other YouTube-y things earlier today just to see if I could incorporate some of that into this stream. But yeah, if you were streaming every day, I think that that would help, you know, give you a different kind of platform or format that you can build. You wouldn't have to feel like you have to do so much and have 3-4 hour streams every time. Shows how little attention you paid at Bancroft Mo Biggs. How you must have hurt his feelings just now. After years of me tormenting him in a chat, I doubt he's quite so sensitive. You guys go a long ways back, from what I understand. Now you're going to have to figure out how to knock the camera over so the saga can continue on X. That would be awesome. I always thought like I think I need to have a much more complicated setup, but it would be so cool if you could do like camera switching where I switch from one side of the room to another and switch from one overhead to another. That would be awesome, but I don't have that kind of tech at all. You guys would be entertained if you saw the tech setup I had. It's really janky, but we do what we can. And the camera will knock over the ink. That's right. And the camera leaps into the ink out of protest. Amazing. Rocky goes through more whiteout than Grandpapa Bancroft writing his illustrated treatise, The Hierarchy of Man and Manlike. Rose on Third is here. Sorry I'm late, and good night.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Good night to you, Rose on Third. We know that you have trouble keeping your eyes open even during the daytime. So just embrace it. This is going to be a sweet slide into sleep right now. But good seeing you. Thanks for coming in. I was actually listening and focused for the first 2/3 of Rocky's Yap Test, but I'm not made of stone. We all have our limits. Still awake at 8:34 your time, struggling a little. Okay, we got to get to some drawing here before Mark passes out. I have to go for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll keep the stream in the background. All right, hang in there, Cranberry. By the time you get back, we'll be drawing. So thank you for being here anyways. I'm now settled with the other half of my fries. Awesome. Twitter was a better name than X. Was it? I think, was it? I guess so. I mean, X is pretty cool, but I think the bridge between Twitter to X has been hard. And yeah, there's like, what do you say what do you call your posts on X? Is it just a post? Because Twitter had tweets, which was kind of pretentiously .com-y, techy, but was very catchy. So yeah, it's amazing if you think about like where Twitter was and just the culture of Twitter, the company of Twitter. I knew people that work there and how different it is now, and how, I mean, it was huge back then, but it is crazy different now. I think it is. And I think its reach is way different than Twitter was before. And now Elon Musk is a trillionaire, right? Literally a trillionaire. So who knows if that's going to change X at all, or if he's on to the next thing. Is he just focusing on SpaceX or whatever that? But watching that in the news was pretty incredible. Picture quality is good so far. Thank you, Mark's Music Session, for letting me know that. Just lost my internet, but I'm back. All right. Rose on Third wants some fish and chips this late in the night. Still a bit of rain where you are at, Jeffrey Beats. And Meanjid, fulfillment was done and dusted in under 2 weeks. Awesome. That's amazing. That's great. Was that faster than your last fulfillment? Like, did you learn things from the past? Yeah, just going through it all the first time and doing it the second time. I'm sure you learned a bunch of stuff. I mean, everybody that I hear that's crowdfunded or that does crowdfunding, it's like a whole other job. Not just the song and dance of like, hey, back my book, and then like doing the book, but also just like fulfillment and keeping on top of orders and shipping and all that kind of stuff. Sounds insane. Yes, American English makes no sense. I mean, what would you generally use to store things? A trunk or a boot? A boot. What's it all about? I should try kimchi someday. You should, Rose on Third. It's supposedly really good for your health. The fermentation is good. I like kimchi a lot. Own your language, I say. Change over to metrics, though. Never. Mel keeps her boots in the boot. Boots in the boot. Where does she keep her trunk? In the trunk? Does she save room for your rollerblades? Michael Bancroft. My smoke alarm, fortunately, isn't that high. Oh, where do you keep it? Is it like eye level? Aren't smoke alarms supposed to be a certain height? I didn't know that was variable. Michael Bancroft's rollerblades go on the mantle. Okay. I just snag a tea-towel and wave at. Yes, me too. Right next to the puffy shirt, I hope, Michael Bancroft. Oh my goodness. It's dead internet on X. Hundreds of iterations of the same content, posts, and videos. Dead internet on X. Interesting. Dead internet. It is kind of an echoey chamber. But actually, one thing when you have a premium account on X is you can kind of control, you can toggle your feed. I know you can do it generally with just the free account, but I think with the premium account, I don't know, I'll play around with it. But you can kind of toggle what feed of information you want to see, because usually the last thing you click on or engage with is what starts getting fed like tons on your feed. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. Just when I think I'm about to quit it or just be like, oh, what's the point? There's always something that pops up that's really enjoyable in it. So I've stuck around with it. Brits are undefeated in their retarded words. Australia versus USA should have been the finals. Really? Interesting. Still, it's a win-win situation. If we win, we win. If we lose, no more soccer matches taking up valuable broadcast time. I'm really curious of how... I think it feels like it's being promoted more than normal. Because I know they're doing a big push of trying to get like America engaged. It always helps when the team from your country is doing well. So I think that's the best way of getting people engaged, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like they're really pushing hard on like WNBA matches. And then I watch these games and I'm like, they're okay. Like Caitlin Clark, she's like one of the most incredible players in WNBA right now. And I'll watch those games. But then the other games, I'm like, there's like players here and there, but I think it's just the product. You just got to make the product that like everybody gets on board with, and it takes time. So yeah, we'll see. No soccer. Australia dominated Turkey 2-0. That's awesome. Respect to Turkey. I love that country too. I love that food too. I used to stream for an hour during my lunch break, then do a longer one on the weekend. Wow, you could do it during your lunch break? Were you at the office or just at home? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I can't compartmentalize that quickly. 705 subs, needed a celebration of some kind for 700. We do, right? Okay, we need to. I know I kind of said I would do something at 700. We need to do something. I won't forget that. And the long streams were often drinking streams. Rose on Third agrees we need to do something. The origin of Chunkcroft. Oh boy. The only reason I heard about the FIFA stuff is because I was watching the Stanley Cup finals with another streamer. See, that's another sport. I'm like, I don't know. Ice hockey. There is like the San Jose Sharks are the closest team here. I haven't watched any of it. I know some people are diehard hockey fans. But there is one player on it. He's supposedly like a generational player. So it's got my interest peaked. Like when you have those kind of people and stories to latch onto, then maybe. But I always find hockey just ends up in like a brawl. Good point, Rocky. Twitter may be a better name than X, but then he'd have to call his rocket company Space Twitter, which is lame. Or his son. He would have to name his son Twitter, which doesn't work. One of his sons. Awesome ones here. Whoa.
Yes, that's awesome.
Interrupting my Jay Ryan rants. Oh yeah, I saw that Jay was streaming. Apologies, Jay Ryan. Are you ranting on Jay Ryan's stream? That's awesome. You can save the rants for his stream and just the weird links for mine. Storming most of the day and Florida. Oh, interesting. Fractured Mind was a much smaller and less complicated campaign than Painted Death, Michael Bancroft says. Okay, great. So I guess that's a good thing, and it's good that you were able to finish up that fulfillment then. They're making a new... Oh, I saw that! Wait till they make a Rocky Channel movie. One man's quest to ink a Kirby, shooting the fat and talking comic special guest stars galore. I saw that Facebook movie 2 or whatever, written by Aaron Sorkin, the same guy who wrote Social Network. What was it? Social Network was the name of the first one. Social something is the... Social Reckoning? I can't remember. But I know that they were trying to get the same guy who played Zuckerberg in the first one. Jesse Eisenberg, I think was the actor's name. But he refused or denied or declined. And they got this other guy, and I saw him do his bit, and I was like, that's a pretty good Zuckerberg. So I really liked the first Social Network. I thought it was awesome. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I watched the He-Man movie, guys. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but I did get to the theater to watch the He-Man movie. They're making a new... Oh yeah, we just read that. Oh sure, Rocky clicks everyone else's links but doesn't trust mine. Did you post a link, Oh Biggs? What was your link? Did I miss that? I can't find it. I wish I could look up links. Can I do links? This better be good. I can do a search on Mo Biggs, so let's see if I can find your link. I don't see it. Can you post it again? It'll just make my life easier. Instead of scrolling through 1,000 comments here. Okay, the origin of Chunkcroft. Smoke alarm is like maybe a foot over the doorway. Foot over the doorway. I guess that's okay. It's supposed to be high though, right? X is the Wild West now. Really? It's not so much that X is an echo chamber, it's the bots. That's true. There is a lot of repetition there. I do agree with that. So yeah, but there's always, I don't know, there's always something that I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool to hear from that creator or that artist or that sports person or whatever. Tons of bait posts on X. Less than 1% can answer this question. Then an easy question. 1,000 idiots commenting. I got it easily. I don't click on those posts. You know the cool thing, and I don't know how accurate it is because it just depends if you trust the AI behind it. But the cool thing that I have been using on occasion is if there's a post on X, then you have the option to click on it and check. Grok can check it, cross-check it on different references. So is this true? Is this, or give me a summary on this or whatever. And I find that really helpful, especially when it gives references of if a post is true, then it'll give like its sources of where it's getting from. Granted, it's feeding on whatever is on X, but I thought that was kind of cool because there's so, and then like the whole community notes thing, which I know there's a lot of controversy in that aspect of it, but I think it's better because at least you have people with some accountability on what is posted on X. Because yeah, there's just all sorts of craziness on there. The wife and son are Jeffrey Beats. I'm not that into it. If we make it to the next round, I'll start. Sounds like me. Brawl is the reason to watch hockey. Is it really? Okay. I'll have to take your word for it. I need to like latch onto a team. What team do you like? Rose on third. What hockey team is your favorite team? Oh, is Jason Unhinged in here? Is he here? I did not see his comment. If I see it, I'll throw it up here. I told him you recommended Youngblood for the memories. He was, Rocky. Are you talking about Jay Ryan? I know he's been doing those reviews of Youngblood, and it doesn't sound like he's liking it at all. But he's still doing them, so. Let's see. This is a raid, I guess. Some person says, some person, what's up for some person 4819? Raid. Tank Ferret. Raid. I was just watching an old stream of mine or reviewing an old stream of mine, and I saw Tank Ferret there. Again, with the awesome profile picture, Tank Ferret. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to all of you magnificent bastards and bastettes. Welcome to you, and good evening to you, Tank Ferret. Mighty Mo Biggs. That's right. Hello, hello, hello. Are we being rated by Jason? That's awesome. Thank you to Jason. There it is. How are you doing, Jason? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that so much, and I apologize if I was stepping on any times that you guys were streaming over there on your channel. But great to see you here. I see Bear Space that doesn't have books. Get more books. I've got way too much books. Like, honestly, I don't know if you guys can see. Where am I? See, these books are starting to... This used to be a gap here. A nice clean gap. Was a seat. Now their books are climbing. I've got... This is a stack of 2 comic short boxes and then books on top of those. It's not good. I mean, here I could fill out, but I like having a little seat here so that when people come into my office, they can actually sit down. But it might become a bookshelf. Stay tuned, because I'm running out of space. I really am. Yo, Raiders, stick around. If I knew it was going to take 30 minutes to find the link, I wouldn't have said anything. I got to get to drawing, because the people that raided here from Jason's stream, they're like, what's going on? This guy's just talking the whole time. So in response to insisting we change the metric system. Oh. Okay. 20 people watching. Smash that like, peeps. 20 people watching. Are we kidding? Are you kidding me? I don't know. It can't say. It doesn't say how many people are watching from X, though. I think usually somewhere it says that. I'm going to find that information one of these days, but that's okay. But 20 people watching is awesome. Welcome, 20 people. Here's the link. Mo Biggs gave it again. All right. I will click on this link. I'm almost caught up here, so we're going to get to drawing. I promise, people. I promise. How do I click on this link? Mo Biggs. Okay. What? What is this shenanigans? That's pretty awesome. Forget the metric system. Who needs the metric system? We just got SpaceX. They're not using no metric system at SpaceX. Maybe they are. Awesome one gifted 6 chilies. Nice. Raiders, Rocky will discover that you're here in 15 minutes. That's how it works. Hopefully I don't lose all you people. I'm doing conceptual layouts for RPG client. I'm not going anywhere for a hot minute. Awesome, Tank Ferret. You know what? That's the best, is when you can work and I will be working at the same time, or drawing at the same time. That's always fun. We used to do that in college all the time. We'd go to, like, in art school, we'd go to other people's dorm rooms or studios, and then we would just do our projects and just sit and talk and yap while we're all working on different things. That's always fun. So it's kind of like that. That's the part of hockey that got my attention. The brawls. Nice. Why aren't you at the World Cup, Rocky? It just started in Stanford. I don't want to go all the way down to that stadium. That stadium is in Santa Clara. It's about almost an hour away from where I am. That's where the San Francisco 49ers, our football, American football team plays. And I've heard just nightmare things about the stadium. It's a cool stadium, but getting there, driving there, the parking there, it's all insane. So I wouldn't do it. Are you watching State of Origin tonight? Mate versus mate, state versus state, date versus date? That, and because apparently Golden Knights has awesome openers. Oh, Golden Knights. That's awesome. Awesome. Jason might be watching Jay. Jay covered Alan Davis, Batman, and some other artists. Nice. Alan Davis, incredible. Incredible artist. Love his stuff. Took him 5 minutes to reply to Raid. Those lightning fast reflexes. No one owns the internet streams when you can. Okay. Time Toast sounds like it would be a Doctor Who reference, but I don't watch, so I don't know. I was once a normal ferret thrown into a particle accelerator by scientists that then bitten by a radioactive tank. Now I'm a digital nomad in your friendly neighborhood force multiplier. Love it. Tank Ferret's coming here with his own origin story. Amazing. More bande dessinée, Mr. Monkey Boy, 1969.
How do you say monkey in French?
Goodness gracious, Mr. Monkey Boy, 1969. Where do you get your normal fix from? Before you even met me, you must have been into bande dessinée. Where do you get your fix from? Maybe half a foot over the doorway. Mimo Trash is talking about her smoke alarm. Any pigs in the corner? Not in this corner. You can never have enough bookshelves. Tell that to my wife. I'll admit that I don't watch much hockey, but Penguins, Flyers, Sabres. All right. I think. X counts impressions, not live viewers. Dang it, X. There are two types of measurements, scientific and accurate. Nice. I like that. If you gift a lot of dancing emoji appears over your chat box. If you gift a lot, a dancing emoji appears over your chat box. Huh. You're watching the soccer game right now? Yeah, it's playing all over. Everywhere I go, it's playing. You don't want to see my floor. No, I'm actually I'm a relatively clean guy. I like things tidy. I'm big on piles. Yeah. So, but there's not enough floor in my studio, in my office that there is. Sometimes I'll like position myself on the floor, and like I love reading comics on the floor. That's just, I don't know, it's like a childhood thing, I think, for me, as opposed to like sitting at a table reading comic books. Maybe it's just because I like laying out the book, and I don't like holding it. Oh, this is an interesting question. Do you guys, when you read your comics, I guess it depends on a graphic novel or a comic, but when I read my comics, like floppies, I like it to be on a surface, usually the floor, because I don't want to hold it and like sweat on it, if that makes any sense. I don't want to like accidentally like crinkle it too, so I like to open it to the page and just lay it down and look at it and admire it and all that. But then when you read certain graphic novels, depending on the binding, you can't lay it out properly on the ground because it will like shut on itself. So yeah, there's a little bit of give and take there, and then depends. Do you like reading on your back or on your stomach or on your side or sitting in a chair? Interesting. I haven't actually like dissected that about myself, but I do. I think it's because as a kid, I would always read on my stomach on the floor and read my comics. I would lay them all out on the floor and just kind of go through one by one. So, anywho, too much information. Perhaps I should whip out the drawing tablet while I'm here. Perhaps you should. You should. When I have a floppy, I like it on the floor. I want to hold it and. Bancroft's speech quirks must be contagious. Mo Biggs, you should be in the media. You should be a journalist, because you sure do take those sound bites, those clips really well. Rose on Third is she's going to sleep right at the beginning of when I'm drawing. That's fine. I won't be offended. All right. I like to do this before I start. Oh, I just realized that was dangerous, and I've made that mistake before. I'm going to move this nice, clean, pristine page over here, then show you guys. I like to always go over my supplies or try and remind the stream of the supplies I use, just in case you are interested in what it is, what tools I'm using in a particular piece. So right now I'm using Winsor Newton ink, Black Indian ink. That sounds like a PC politically correct landmine. Black Indian ink. I really like this ink, and I've said this before because there's it lays down really nice and flat, and I think you can kind of see it here. It's not too glossy. Like some black indie inks are pretty glossy, and you can kind of see the sheen. I don't like that. I like it when it's closer to matte, kind of like a semi-gloss. And it lays down really flat. So you can see here, like in this like solid black area, you don't really see that many streaks, or once it's dry, it dries pretty even, which I like. And then it's thin enough that it flows really nicely. You'll see once I get it on this brush, it flows nice. It doesn't get gummy, and then it dries relatively quickly because it's thinner than some other inks I've used. And so I don't run the risk of like smearing my hand over a wet spot. Like I haven't yet. Knock on wood, I probably will tonight because I just said I haven't. But I do like this ink a lot, and I like it with the brush, the Winsor Newton Series 7 number 2 brush. It's a great pairing. So that's what I'm using for this whole piece. I don't know if I'll have to switch to another tool based on what it is I'm inking. I think I could probably do this whole thing just with that ink and this this brush. So I did this last time. I'm just gonna do a few little ink inking exercises here, just to get warmed up a little bit and to get some ink on this brush. But let me be careful. So yeah, I just like doing this to just get my hand. See, I already know. You can see already that streak, well, maybe you can't. It's not a clean line, so I don't have enough ink on this loaded up on the brush yet. And it takes a couple of tries to get it loaded up properly. There we go. So I love how thin I can get, like how thin point this brush can get, and then how thick you can get too. So I'm just doing a couple of, and I can tell already my hand is not steady at the moment. So hopefully yeah, so I guess my goal is just trying to get like a taper to the brush stroke right now, some sort of consistent taper, which is not happening, but also like control the distance between each one of these ink strokes, which is also not happening. I've seen, I think I showed you guys the like Art of Comic Book Inking by Gary Martin. Like that book, he has some exercises that he recommends doing, and I don't know how he got it. I mean, I know how, it's just practice, but it just looks so clean. And I'm nowhere near that in my abilities, but that's why we're doing all this, just to practice. But yeah, before I start inking on any pages that I work on, I just like to do this for a couple minutes, and then I think like anything that we do, it's like athletes or whatever, any kind of repetitive thing you do, you might feel your hand control might be slightly different on any given day. It might be the weather. It might be your mood. It might be the amount of caffeine you drank or consumed. But you always kind of have to calibrate and figure out and make adjustments of how you what your hand and eye are doing. You know, it's in the evening right now. I think the last time I inked it was like in the middle of the day, so my eyes are probably a little bit tired. But getting some consistency here. There. And I'm doing this on the same kind of paper, the same Bristol that I'm doing the actual piece on. So just a scrap piece of paper. Okay. I think I'm ready. So I'm just going to load this up. And then just hit it a couple of times here. Just so the brush isn't so full of ink when I start. But we did this all in one stream, all this stuff, and I really wanted to get to this hand. This, like, my favorite part of Kirby drawings is the, like, foreshortened hand that he does. It's so signature Kirby. And it will be a lot of fun to ink. This is the original that I'm basing this master study off of. So I always keep a photocopy nearby to use as reference. Okay, let's see. All right, see you later, Rose on third. 30 minutes out from the stream. Mo, you gonna take that ink comment and match it up with someone? I can't even keep up with the stuff coming out of Rocky's mouth right now. Even as I typed, he was talking about the wet spot. I have PTSD when I spilled my tea over my desk and killed my keyboard. Yeah. Ink flicks. Nice. That spill was like, oh, did that happen on stream? Yeah, I've done a number of those kind of crazy things. He's talking about how thick it can get. Oh, gosh. It's Memorex. It just writes itself, Mo Biggs. Michelle was asleep before this even started, Rocky, which makes my making it this far more impressive. Nice. Okay. More coffee, you're not jittery enough. Mo Biggs is worried no ink will be spilled. Where's the fun in that, huh? Smash that like button. Thank you, Tank Ferret. Okay. Oh, I was going to try. I am going to try. I know some of you guys hate this, but I am going to try some. Tell me if this is too loud. This is like the built-in YouTube music or whatever. Particularly when it's nighttime, I need more music. Gosh, I can already feel the strain a little bit on my eyes compared to the last time we did this. Is it too loud? Mr. Monkey Boy says. Okay, let me turn it down. Is that better? But then I can't hear it. I guess that's okay. I don't need to hear it. Mark says a little loud, Rocky, but you do you. Okay, let me know if that adjustment helped. But now I can barely hear it, so what's the point? So yeah, I went and I watched the He-Man movie with my friend, and so I was a big fan of He-Man growing up. Like I collected the toys. That was almost like Star Wars was definitely number one for toys that I collected. Then He-Man was a close second. Then it was Transformers, and then G.I. Joe was in fourth. So that was kind of my order of shows that I liked. And so yeah, I've been a big fan of He-Man. I have the the mini comics were huge. That was I think that was one of the most genius marketing things that they did, was including a little mini comic with each action figure purchase. Because I looked forward to reading those comics as much as I did playing with the toys. And they had some great artists working on it too. So it really appealed to me as a comic lover, and also just a kid who loved the cartoon and the toys and all that. So huge fan of He-Man, and watched the cartoon. Was even a fan of She-Ra when it came out, just because it was a spin-off of He-Man. And I have a cousin who, she's really close in age to me, and she was really into She-Ra, and she collected those toys. So we kind of had this I had the boy He-Man stuff, and she had the girl She-Ra stuff. And then whenever we would meet up, we would play with these toys together. So it was really fun. It was just a huge part of my childhood. And then the original movie came out with Dolph Lundgren, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't mind-blowing to me. I think it was just mind-blowing that they actually made He-Man a movie, but the execution of it was a little bit too different than the toys and the cartoon. But I still enjoyed it, and I don't know if you guys know, but Ralph McQuarrie, who was one of the main concept designers on Star Wars, did a lot of concept for that He-Man movie, the original He-Man movie. So there was some cool stuff in there. And then, I grew out of it. And then the new cartoons came out later in the 90s and 2000s, and I wasn't really into that. That was by that time I kind of had grown up, and I don't know, their renditions of He-Man just weren't the same for me. They were trying to be too cool or something, and He-Man kind of wasn't that cool. I mean, it was cool for me as a kid, but it was just weird. So then, yeah, when they announced this movie coming out, I was like, oh, okay. How is this going to fare? So it was kind of strange. I think they did a great job. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it. I think they did a great job of being respectful with the original source material. So that's great. I mean, if you're doing a kind of nostalgia movie for geeks and nerds, you better be respectful to the original material, or else you're going to get backlash like crazy. Sorry, I've just got a little lost here. Where am I going? So I think they were respectful to the source material. But then, and it was kind of they were making fun of it, which was fine. They weren't taking themselves too seriously, which was great. But I explained it to one of my friends. I described it it was kind of like watching a 2-hour dad joke a little bit. There was parts of the movie when I was watching, I was like, this is pretty bad. And then there were other parts of the movie I was like, oh, they nailed that. Like that, they got that perfect. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I can understand why it didn't really hit, and has not been a blockbuster like runaway hit. I felt like the humor was trying too hard to be smart and like edgy, but it just wasn't. I thought the casting was great. The guy who plays He-Man, he was great. They had some funny like meta things about like masculinity in there, and it wasn't like, oh, masculinity is bad. They were kind of making fun of that whole culture thing that we're dealing with right now about gender and gender constructs or whatever. So that was kind of smart. Also, the director, he's a guy by the name of Travis Knight. He's actually, his background is in animation. He worked for, and is one of the owners, I think, of Leica Studios, which is this incredible stop motion studio. They did Coraline and Kubo and Box Trolls, bunch of movies. They used to be Will Vinton Studios, but they became Leica. Anyway, incredible studio. They have a new movie coming out called Wildwood. So that's his background, and you can kind of feel it in the way that he directs, the like animation-y feeling. So, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. Mark's music session says, good night, all. Finish the rest tomorrow. See you later, Mark. Thanks for hanging around as long as you have already. Appreciate it. Mo Big says the original movie was Clown Shoes. The original cartoon was a very light pair of loafers. The original cartoon and movie were Clown Shoes. I like She-Ra because she was related to He-Man. Then explain your fascination with Rainbow Bright. I did not like Rainbow Bright. Those He-Man mini comics were peak. 2002 He-Man is a close second. See, I wasn't really into the 2000s He-Man. There was just something like doofy about the original He-Man, and the later ones just took themselves way too seriously. So this is fine. It's a fine line with He-Man. It's like you gotta acknowledge how crazy it is, and then but also you don't want it to be so silly that you're making fun of people who actually love it. And I think they did that for the most part in the He-Man movie, the one that just came out. Like I felt like again they were being respectful of the original source stuff. There's some characters that they didn't even have in the movie. In this movie, that I was really surprised. Some like super prominent characters in the He-Man lore that they didn't have at all, and then they had some pretty obscure ones. I was like, whoa. There has to be a reason why you guys made these choices. Oh, good. My white trash neighbors are yelling at each other again. I was afraid that wouldn't happen. Goal! Oh, I guess Australia just had a goal. Nice. Emo says the music was fine where it is. Now you can barely hear it. Okay, let me give it a little bit more. It's like the jump from one step to the next step is huge. There's no real in between there. Okay, let me know if that sounds okay. Whatever is buzzing in the background is louder. That's my computer. I heard that is cheesy, the He-Man movie is. It is, yeah, it is. It is. Was it geared towards young boys? No. I think it was geared towards, like, old guys. And that's why it kind of felt like a dad joke. Okay, now that sounds loud. I'm never gonna win with this music. What if I turn it down here? Um, 40K joke. You know why Primaris Marines have so many flying vehicles? They're easier to lift because they're light in the loafers. Do we got to give it one of these? I saw the new 40K troller and it was like, man, sounds like hell. J. Ryan, rate of 1. Tank Ferret says now perfect volume. Okay. We'll see how that goes. I think the unfortunate thing too is that probably each one of these songs have a different volume level. Okay, I'm going too slow. I'm talking too much. I'm fiddling too much with the tech. Just gotta ink. It's a good thing I was practicing on those lines, the distance of those lines, because I got a bunch of them here coming up. With these segments, Kirby loved to do these segments, and whenever he depicted armor or like tech. It's just really cool to see how he like artistically simplified things. And so just so I don't forget, I will probably be streaming again tomorrow. I like to do I try and keep a weekly show of, I call it my Wednesday comics, to go over the books that I pick up every week and discuss other new comics that I have happened to get. Oh, I got this. Maybe if I take a break later. This one I just read. Have you guys heard of this book, Drome? I'd never heard of this book before. I just saw it in the library. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And the artist is Jesse Lonergan. Again, I don't know much about him. And this is a really thick book. Or story, I guess. Published by, I think they're called First Second Books. Yeah, First Second Books, and they do great books. The quality of their publications is really high, but that's a great story. And I'm also considering, like, I wonder if I should do like a longer video on that story, because it's a super fascinating story that he chose to tell, and the way that he did it, the like techniques he used to tell it are awesome. It reads really fast too. It's kind of like a myth, like a creation myth, but it's really cool. And at times, sometimes his artwork reminded me of Paul Pope. Sometimes it reminded me of Daniel Warren Johnson. So like this very kind of cool style. But a lot of his like panel work is so fascinating. And it's one of those, like, that's one of those kind of stories that you can only tell in comics, the way that he did it. So yeah, that one I just picked up at the library. I just looked at the cover. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I was pleasantly surprised. Probably gonna have to go a little thicker on that finger once I'm all is said and done. One thing that Kirby's really good, and the inkers that work with him, I believe it seems like he probably inked this himself, but oftentimes Kirby worked with other inkers as well. But one thing that the best inkers that have worked on Kirby stuff do is they control the line weight, and they use the line weight to like help things push to the foreground, or like, you know, make them feel more powerful or thicker just by the thickness of the line. Because I've also seen Kirby inked by people that aren't that great at inking him, and it's like, oh, what happened? Like, it's kind of a mess. I noticed that Kirby drew people as if they were buildings, architectural. I could see that. Like, he's they're definitely, I know this Doom feels like he's built out of like building blocks. Like huge pieces of concrete. It just goes to show that, like, yeah, he definitely, his figures carried a lot of weight. That's probably that like architecture feeling you're feeling. They're like grounded, and then they're kind of pieced together, like all the chunks and the pieces of armor. It's all like locked in. And as crazy as it was, it just felt functional, which is awesome. It was just believable when we looked at it as the audience. It's just like, you totally believe all these crazy things that Kirby did, even though they don't make any sense. There's some artists that draw like really realistically, and you know, they make sure that it's every gear and wire and all that fits together properly, and it actually is like that in reality if it existed. But sometimes I find those like lose a lot of life. Like, the thing I love about Kirby, speaking of his tech, like the tech that he would create was so exciting and fun, and like it didn't make any sense. Like, there's no way it could exist in the real world, but he made it look believable. I feel like this music is loud. It's too loud, right? Maybe it's just loud in my ears. No, it's not the switch. Pink used to be a boy's color until Gerber changed that via an advertising campaign. Macy cemented it. Are we talking about the pink in He-Man? Like Prince Adam stuff? Yeah, they were really accurate with costumes, colors. They they did this great thing. I was watching it. A friend of mine, I was watching it. I guess he was too young to be into the 80s He-Man. So he just went to watch the movie without really knowing much about He-Man at all. And so the whole time during, I was like, oh, this is Mechaneck. This is Moss Man. And I was just kind of explaining things on the go. And one of the things I kept saying, I was like, wow, that costume looks really, really accurate. So they did a great job of that. For, I'd say about 90% of the characters. Skeletor looked accurate. If everyone watching tonight comes back tomorrow, imagine the size of the split vote we could get. So what Michael Bancroft's referring to is these polls that I like to do at the end of my my Wednesday comic streams. And I like to get the audience to vote for which book of the ones that I reviewed that they like the best. And last week's poll was an epic 3-way tie, and just between you and me, I don't think it was because those 3 books people like evenly. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, if we get more people voting, I think it will increase my chances of getting a more accurate vote as opposed to the obligatory and painful tie at the end of each stream. So maybe that's another selfish reason that I got to get more people watching. It's cool, these like contours underneath it really shape that finger. There's the man. What's up, Alan Lau?
Hey kid,
What?
I'm a computer.
Prince Adam in the movie Rock the Pink. Yeah, he did. He did. It was really funny. And that actor's jump between the two personas, or the two forms of Adam and He-Man, was pretty good. Like, yeah, I liked him a lot. No complaints on his character. Good morning, Al. Is it morning? It's already morning for Emo Trash. Holy cow. Art and Types of J. Ryan, start over. I just got here.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
How did your stream go, Art and Times of J. Ryan? You've been streaming up a storm, my friend. Streaming a lot lately. I've noticed that. It's like every time I look at my feed, I'm like, he streamed again? Who's this madman? going against the grain of that curve, which was kind of messing with my head. So one of the things I mentioned last stream was get a better line width or line control when you ink with the curvature of your wrist. So I'm right-handed, you know, and so like curves that go this way, so when you just pivot here at the wrist, it's a lot more accurate because it's like the natural range of motion. But when I was doing that curve, I was doing it opposite, so I was doing this, and that's always, you get these like wobbly curves out of it. So that is why I turned my paper upside down. Oh, is Timmy Mello's not here, is he? Our good friend Timmy Mello. I was thinking of him the other day because just randomly my feed, I don't know if you guys watch these kind of videos. I have never heard of these videos before, and then I started watching this one. Gosh, what was the guy's name? And I don't know why it showed up in my feed. I think they're just baiting me to see if I like this kind of content, but it was, I think his name was Urbex. Have you guys heard of this guy? He's got tons of followers. So, but basically, the reason why I was thinking of Timmy Mello is he's based in Cleveland, and which is where Timmy Mello is from. And he just goes into like abandoned buildings, and I guess there's a lot of them there, and just walks through, and he's like live streaming while he's doing it. He's got a camera set up and lights, and he does them at night most of the time, and it's super creepy. And like the chat is going bonkers when he's like, somebody's in the room. Like, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but he's like, there's somebody in here, I gotta go. And he'll like run, and then like his light will shut out, and you're like, oh my god. It's like watching a live real horror movie. But it was super fascinating. And I was just amazed at like how so many people were just watching him do this, like just walk around an abandoned building and like turn corners. And it's kind of like me when I do my zoo streams, except not scary. Which I haven't done a zoo stream in a long time. I'm due for the zoo. Don't say anything, Mo Biggs. I think I shared with you guys. I haven't renewed my membership yet, so that's why I've been delayed. But I will. Okay, let's see. Can I do this? I can do it. I can do it. Awesome One just gifted Silver Star times 2 jewels, whatever that means. Thank you, Awesome One. I wonder how long this piece took Kirby. A day? A few? I know, right? 20 minutes. He did this piece faster than I caught up on chat. I'm pretty sure about that. Not only like the impact Kirby had on the comics world and just the language of comics, like everything that he invented and created, but just the sheer volume and speed at which he did that is, nobody has ever been able to come close to what Kirby did. That's why he's the king. And that's what I tell myself all the time. And I'm sure you guys who are artists or work in some kind of art field or whatever can relate. But I'm just I always have to tell myself, just get it out there. Just finish it. Just do it. Because nobody is going to pay attention to all the things you're over-analyzing or stressing about as much as you do. They're just gonna look at it and go, wow, that's a cool picture, and move on. Even like some of my favorite artists, like I realized, oh wow, I looked at that panel like really quickly. I didn't like pore over every single line. It's a fine balance too, though, because I know some artists that rush through stuff. They just crank it out, and I look at their art and I'm like, yeah, didn't really move me. But I am definitely more of the type to overanalyze and stress out, like psych myself out more than I am to like just get it done. I already see a couple places I gotta touch up later. Probably a few hours. He wasn't trying to perfectly copy himself. Yeah. A few hours tops. Maybe a day. Pencil, ink, 2-page spread. Maybe a day. Yeah, I don't know. Kirby was insane. Have you guys seen images of his desk? It was like he destroyed and slaughtered an ink beast on his desk. It's just crazy. Gotta get running an early morning await. Smash that like button. Carpe diem at Nix. And stay magnificent, everyone. See you later, Tank Ferret. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. You still fail to grasp how the internet works. It depends on your definition of rigged, Jeffrey Beats. I'm not doing anything to rig them. That's for sure. All right, settle down, everyone. Your favorite chatter has arrived. Finally, Steampunker, where you been all my life? You're the one who's always saying late night stream, late night stream. Came to liven up the place. That's right. Best part of Master of the Universe, 4 non-blondes. Oh, the music choices were pretty good. I feel like these fingers are like little Tootsie Rolls. You guys know how Tootsie Rolls, like when you take them out of the package, they're like little segmented turds. That's what these Kirby fingers feel like. I should have popped in sooner. I see some of the good ones snoozed out on it already. It was fun. Looked at some Alan Davis Batman and Alex Toth tonight. Amazing. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. 2 incredible artists. Alan Davis is... I feel like he doesn't get talked of enough, so good on you for doing a stream about him. He's just solid artist. Loved his run on Excalibur. He's actually an influence that I feel like on some of the Ghost Machine guys is Alan Davis's stuff, because he does this great blend of like incredibly solid drawing skills, but he's got a flair and his own style too. It's not like there's so much life in his drawings and appeal. And his line work, him when he was paired, when Alan Davis was paired up with I think one of my favorite inkers to ink Alan Davis's stuff was Mark Farmer. Whew, that was like butter, that combination. Not morning here yet, but give it about 10 more minutes. I think it's already morning there, right? Love Alan. There you go. Alan Lau knows. Maybe because his name's Alan. Jay's art sale tomorrow. Whatnot. Oh, are you using Whatnot? If you haven't seen his Batman, I highly recommend it. Did you look at it? Was it hang on a second. I'm jumping around here because too many conversations with myself. I want to know about Whatnot, Art and Times of J. Ryan. But did you look at, was it Batman Year 2 that you looked at for Alan Davis's Batman stuff? Which, I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, I was grabbing that because of McFarlane, but because I was a huge Todd McFarlane fan. But Alan Davis's stuff on that was awesome. And actually, I look back on it, I actually like it more than McFarlane's work on it. I don't think I've seen an Alan Davis thing that I haven't liked. Like, again, that appeal is just part of his drawing style. Okay. This way, so I get a little bit of that taper at the end. So you guys see that? I don't know if you can see it. That taper at the end, it comes from naturally when your hand lifts up a little bit off the brush. So they have that here on the original. I was just trying to get some of that at the end of this fingertip. And when I was doing it in the opposite direction, the fat side was on this end. And I wanted it to be the tapered sides. I always get that confused, like which direction I'm drawing the taper from. I hear one of my cats. Okay, hang on, buddy. Gotta check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. YouTube now shows anything related to the content of the videos you watch. Anything related to the content of the videos you watch. But I didn't watch any videos that had to do with the weird, creepy Halloween, or not Halloween, but walking into a creepy building. So yeah, I don't know how that got into the algorithm. I'm almost an hour into the morning. Holy cow. Random question. You guys ever seen The Truman Show before? Yes. Amazing. I watched it for the first time today. I can't believe I haven't seen it before. It's pretty good. It's really good. Truman Show is... yeah. It's almost a perfect movie. I prefer the Dead Malls or abandoned amusement park versions. Dead Malls. Oh, yeah. Which was a long time ago. I have heard of The Truman Show, but not enough to... oh, Emo Trash. Emo Trash, where do you get your recommendations for movies to watch? Because You're missing out on so much, my friend. Yes, definitely go see The Truman Show. It's one of Jim Carrey's best performances. It's an incredibly directed movie. The story is amazing. And yeah, just the direction is just unbelievable in it. And it just makes you question reality and what is real. What do people think is real? In a super smart way. Ed Harris is in it too. He's great in that movie. And I might have shared this with you guys before, but you guys know my friend Shanthan Jetty, like, he got married. So the town that the Truman Show takes place in is an actual town. It looks like a movie set. But I think that's why they picked this particular town. It's a town in Florida. And because the town itself, I've been there, looks like a movie set. And that's where Shant had his wedding. And so that's why I was there. It's like a little resort town. Ah, dang. Got a little blobby. Sort of getting lost. Losing my roadmap here. That's coming along. There's this channel called Bros of Decay. They go through abandoned houses and sometimes 500-year-old castles in the middle of nowhere. Oh my god. That sounds amazing. Wait, what abandoned buildings? So I saw this show, or this YouTube channel appeared on my feed the other day about this guy who lives in Cleveland, and he just live streams going through abandoned buildings and apartments and stuff. And I actually saw it. I took a walk and I was watching it while I was walking, which was kind of this weird it was a weird displacement of reality for a second. But yeah, it was kind of like watching a live action or a reality video game, like a first person POV video game of a horror game. That's probably why they appeal. And then people are chatting the whole time and he's responding to the chat. Going against the curve, and I can feel it in my wrist. But yeah, apparently that, like, I think Mo Biggs was saying, it's a thing. Because after I watched that one video, then all of a sudden I got all these recommendations of videos at other people going through other haunted places. I used to have I don't know, I was subscribed to this one channel that it was like, I think he was a diver collecting sea cucumbers, and he was either Japanese, or his first language was not English, and I think it was Japanese, but he would live stream it and he'd be underwater and just capturing these sea cucumbers, and he would sit there and like, he had all these techniques of like trying to catch them. Sometimes he'd catch like shrimp and fish, and he had all these ways of trying to lure them out. I can't remember how I got it or found it, but I got so hooked on that. I was like, wow, this is happening live. There's something about watching it live. Okay. So this one I am going with the curve. And usually when you do that, you can get a nice smooth smooth curve in one line, which always looks better than what I normally do, which is kind of like scratch a line out. But if you can do it in one curve, it just looks way better. To do it the other way. Getting the wrong taper now. It's funny, when I was like, depending on the speed of my line, the taper will go in opposite directions. So if I guess that makes sense. If I put down the stroke faster, then I will release the brush at the end and it gives the thinner taper. But if I go slower, then it's fatter at the end. It's really weird. This is why I always get confused on the direction of the taper. Overthinking. That's cool. It's coming along. Steampunker says, I have a fascination with abandoned things. Check it out. I think his name is I think it's Urbex, Urbex, and then it was like Urbex Live or something like that. Really creepy. He doesn't want me to mention the pig feeder lady kidnapped from the zoo in the case the feds are watching. Yep. Yep. I confessed today at the dump I was tempted to jump into the dumpster. Hope you have a tetanus shot. Pig feeder lady brings a lot of that imagination. It does. Oh, I don't have... Oh, some person. You got to come back tomorrow. I don't think you've been exposed to Pig Feeder Lady, and I don't have that video queued up on this computer. It's on my other computer that I do my Wednesday comic streams from. So if you're interested, come by tomorrow, and I'll play it for you. You may regret it, but you'll understand the myth that is Pig Feeder Lady. Right, cool. That hand's coming along. I think I should do this face, right? Like, why not? Or should I save it? Maybe I should save it. Okay, I'll save it. I'm gonna go here to the side. But if I wait too long, then I might get wobbly with tiredness. Rocky feels the same temptation every time a new Absolute book launches. Rocky's gonna take forever to get my chat, isn't he? Yes. I'll probably read my exchange with Awesome One in reverse order. I think I just did. You can read through it quickly because the detailed art is achieving immersion. Yes. Girl, you know you got to strap in till you're noticed. It's ironically more noticeable when the art is obviously rushed. It's true. Michael Bancroft. That is so true. I don't know. It's like a fine line, though. It really is. Like some of... Like some of Nick Dragotta's artwork. He's the artist on Absolute Batman. It's really... It looks like he drew it really fast. Some panels. And then he spends a lot of time on other panels. And I think that's where the artistry comes in. You know, he knows when to make you read faster through stuff. You don't need to spend time on so much detail. It's more about the action and the flow. And then other times he'll slow you down by the amount of detail or the composition of the shot or something. So it's such an art form to it. It's not just about drawing cool things. And I'd argue there's artists out there that just draw cool things and they're not very good storytellers. There's a lot of artists like that. This is a whole blackened in area here. I was watching a friend's channel play a game, but sometimes they get out of control. I know that song. Girl, you know it's true. Emo's trash preps. I should caffeinate up. It could be a while. Aw, thanks, Awesome One. Cranberry's here. Of course, that would counteract the melatonin I just took. You and your melatonin. If you resist melatonin, it does opposite. It keeps you up. I've heard that. Makes sense. You missed out on the natural melatonin of the countdown and opening. It's okay, Sammy. I was just watching Jay Ryan in another stream besides this. Some person, you're getting the hang of it. Getting the hang of it. This is... This is when the going gets good. Thanks a lot, Awesome One. Now I got that song stuck in my head. Where have I been all your life? I guarantee you I was been non-existent for about half of said life. Where have I been all your life? Oh. Gotcha. Cranberry saying hello to everybody. Did she change genders? Who's steampunker? No, just name. We are all AI, so we don't have genders. Or we have all the genders. They do look like Tootsie Rolls, unless they're the fruit flavored ones. I've never had a fruit flavored one. Don't they have the white center? I think they do. Yeah, those aren't good. Tootsie Rolls were kind of strange. I always felt like it was eating like wax, chocolate flavored wax. Speaking of chocolate flavored, I found a new chocolate snack at Trader Joe's. They're called Teensy Candy Bars, which is a really weird name, but pretty much it's their version of a tiny Snicker bar, and I love Snickers. Steampunker, have you tried your Cool Lickles yet? Curious. Some person senpai noticed me. Mo Biggs, I see someone as my back when it comes to getting the new name right. Sorry about that. Discord deniers got to stick together. You guys. How many Ren stream fairs have you been to Steamer? What? Ren Steam fairs have you been to Steamer? Steampunker Steam Ren Steam. Oh my gosh. I used Discord last week to share Pig Fader. Doing another Kickstarter campaign, Bancroft? Are you on to the next one, Bancroft? No rest for the weak. No rest for the weary. For the weak. I don't know how you guys do it. It's crazy. Like, I haven't talked to Shantan forever. I need to. But I think he's close to... It looks like the last post I saw from him, I think he had his artist edition or art only version and second print version of Nosfera the Cryptwalker, which is his book, his crowdfunded book. I think he had those in hand, which was really exciting. So I gotta find out more info. It's really cool to see that holster blackened in there. It's a book about Alan Davis Batman art. We have Goat Fair. Taper. Today on Sci-Fi for Me TV kept saying Doctor Who is going to Tinder, and I was like, what is he talking about? It's based on words said in chats or titles, even words used in the video on recommendations. I'm not even tracking what you're saying, Awesome One. It's like super gibberishy today. The ending of Truman Show, genius. Yeah, so good. Really good. What was his phrase? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Oh, this will be really satisfying right here. I should probably not. I see a lot of people like save their brushes for big black areas like this. They'll save their brushes and use not so expensive brushes or fine line brushes for these areas. I've even seen some inkers use like Q-tips to fill in the large black areas, but I'm too lazy to pull out a Q-tip at this point. That's cool. Kind of starting to define his form. Truman Show is a favorite movie of mine that I bought. The only movie that impressed Rocky more than Truman Show was Ed TV. Ed TV, that was starring, was it McConaughey? That was so strange that that movie came out. When that movie came out, I was like, It's like when Ants came out when Bug's Life did. Like, too similar. And EdTV took place in San Francisco, too. Okay, boom. Guess we could do some of these folds. I don't want to totally do all of them because it's crossing over into the next page. EdTV I wanted to see. It's okay. It's not as good as Truman Show. I actually only saw it once. I should watch it again and compare. I just remember watching and going, this is too close to Truman Show. Where am I going? I think I should do his face. Or I could do this building. Yeah, I should do his face. Okay, let me load that. I'm going to clean my brush and load it up. Some fresh ink here. Last time I remember purposely sitting down to watch a movie was when I did my Lord of the Rings binge. And that was another one we were like, why haven't you seen it? Emo trash, right? Maybe when K-pop Demon Hunters came out, though I don't remember which came first. Oh, and the Demon Slayer movie. I saw the extended cut of Lord of the Rings in the theater at 11 p.m. Not recommended, Awesome One says. That was probably the best 4-hour nap you got. Truman Show was intended to be a satirical movie, but honestly, something about it makes it feel kind of eerie in a way. Now, in the day and age we live now, for sure. Like, what is real? Can we trust anybody? Definitely. It was a great movie, though, to speak to all that. Truman Show is now basically YouTube, right? Yeah. Demon Slayer movie was awesome, minus all the lore dumping. I was actually just watching a video of two guys exploring an abandoned hospital yesterday. Maybe your recommendations are coming through on my channel. I think they're doing a Demon Slayer musical, Emo Trash. Double check me on that. I think they are. Hardcore Henry was a guy who woke up as a video game warrior. Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I didn't watch it, but I know it's kind of based off of first-person shooters. I watched PewDiePie and Abroad in Japan walk around abandoned building areas into Japan. It's a thing. Some of the lore dumping was fine. Once it got into one demon, Tanjiro and Gyu were fighting, it was too much. Did you enjoy the main character crying for 15 on the train? Was that Demon Slayer? I used to watch Exploring with Josh all the time. Been a hot minute, though, since I've seen his videos. I watched a channel with a Japanese guy fishing off of one of the smaller islands in Japan. That might have been it, Cranberry. Because I think if he went underwater, this was this guy. It was awesome. And then he would end each stream by, like, drawing in the sand some sort of characters that I didn't recognize because he was speaking another language. Rocky sound effects give kid playing with their action figures vibes. Thank you. That's a compliment. We're not exposing newcomers to the pig lady eye slop. Come on. Some person. It's up to you, man. Or woman. Come tomorrow if you're curious, and I will hit that play so fast you wouldn't even believe it. Will the taper be thicker at the end because it's more time for the ink to seep out? Yeah, it just depends on the speed. Like if I'm going slower, then I guess at the end I'll like stop, and that's why it gets thicker. But if I go fast, it lifts up off the page, is my scientific explanation for it. I don't have it queued up on this computer. I would do it right now. Wonder, glory, not the words I would use to describe that AI trash. No. Da 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 da. Do not. The Germans played a Eurotrash 80s song each time they scored a goal. Nice. Cranberry's just going off on the pig feeder lady video. Tootsie Rolls do taste like chocolate flavor wax. They do. Yes. It was like chocolate. Then, did any of you guys eat paste when you were a kid? I never did, but I always wondered what it would taste like. And I felt like it, I guess I imagined that it would taste like marshmallow fluff. Or something about paste. Do kids use paste these days? I don't even see paste anymore. Maybe it's because they ate it too much. But that was a staple in preschool and kindergarten or whatever. Actually, I never went to kindergarten. But elementary school. Paste, man, that was awesome. And then you graduated to Elmer's glue. And Elmer's glue, I remember, like, there's a few friends of mine who they would, like, put glue in their hands and then they would just rub it together and make little, like, glue balls. And then it would eventually turn, they would just keep adding to it, and then it would eventually turn into, like, a rubber ball, like a bouncy ball. Okay, there's too much ink in this. But yeah, paste always had that, I don't know, something about the smell of paste. It was like, at least the paste I had as a kid, it kind of had that minty-ish smell too. Do you guys remember that? I was always curious. I'm like, what does it, why are the other kids eating this? Oh, just slightly off. Speaking of music quizzes, every Sunday morning around 2 a.m. there's a music quiz with Mr. Burger. I don't think I know Mr. Burger. I have the coolical ingredients. Oh. Did you not? Did you? Oh, Emo Trash has the coolical ingredients. Did you pick your flavor of Kool-Aid? Right? Because you got to pick a flavor. I don't even know what's the most popular flavor of Kool-Aid. I'm assuming the red one. But I could be wrong about that. That's cool. Just haven't put them together yet. I would try them now, but I'm gonna wait till Mark is around. Oh yeah, I wonder if Mark's tried his yet. Sleep is for the weak. I think you're thinking of cowtails with the white centers, Rocky. Cowtails. Oh, yes. I think you're right. They're called cowtails? Huh. That is the most clearest bit of information I've heard you say all day. Awesome one. And it's true. It's true. Half the time I'm responding to you guys, it's all out of context by the time I get to it. Wait, the math didn't make sense on it. Half the time. Never mind. All the time, it doesn't make sense what's coming out of my mouth. Half the time, it has to do with it being out of context. I love this mouth grate or whatever it is that Kirby designed for Doom. So cool. It's such a cool shape. Here we go. One doom mouth. Sorry, I just realized my... Whoa. Sorry, I'm a little quiet here. I'm just trying to just trying to concentrate on this face because I feel like if I lose concentration, I'm gonna screw this up. That's cool. I need to white out that area. Okay. This is going to be the hardest control here. Because I already need some correction there, but one bad flick of the wrist and this eyeball will look crazy. Or it'll look like the eye's looking in the wrong direction, or wall-eyed, or I've had that happen before. Looks a little crazy. I've not seen this Ed TV you speak of. Yeah, it's not worth it. Cranberry dropping links for Tootsie Rolls. Where'd Mo go? He's asleep like John is. John is not asleep. I agree with you, Emo Trash. Mo went to find a video pig feeder lady or to rewatch the Lord of the Rings series. The guy I watched was a free diver. Oh, okay. Yeah, John's still awake. You can deny all you want, Rocky. We all heard you singing on stream. Like glue paste? Yeah. I ate it. Tasted like a weird plant. I liked the taste too much. I had to force myself to not eat glue. Tasted better than Tootsie Rolls. I also ate Elmer's glue once or twice. Ugh. John says his cookout order was good. Okay, here's Mo Biggs. Actually, I have to take a bathroom break soon. Figures it was within my character personality traits. Mo Biggs had a phone call at 11 o'clock at night. Who's calling you? I forgot to pencil in these lines here. Wait. It's my angle. You know what's going to be hard? Actually, I'm going to do these. That's one area where I will use a different tool is these bolts on his forehead. Because to get a nice circle with a brush will be difficult for me. So let me just get these lines here. But yeah, I'm going to do those bolts with a Pit pen, which is just a ink pen. Otherwise they're going to come out all wonky and look like anything but bolts. They'll look like hairy moles, which will not be good look for Dr. Doom. Cool. Check that out. There's Dr. Doom's face. Oh wow, I'm at such an angle. There we go. Looks kind of Kirby-esque. Kirby-ish. Dip. Okay, let me use the, well, I want to kind of not waste the ink that's still loaded on this brush. So I'm going to keep going until it runs out, and then I'll circle back and do those bolts. I went with dark cherry for my coolicles. Oh, okay, cool. And how many cups of sugar goes into a coolicle? See right now. 17 people watching right now. All right. Thank you so much for you 17 people that are here. I appreciate it. I don't know how many people are watching on X, but this is our first time streaming on X. So interesting. See if we like it or not. Apparently, wow. Apparently, Bancroft had a run-in with the coppery dudes over a riot he started at Hungry Jack's over some missing onion rings. A riot? Is Hungry Jack's is Burger King, right? Is that the equivalent in Australia? Hungry Jack. Oh yeah, I was trying an Australian accent on last stream. That went really well, didn't it, guys? It was great. I went back and watched that, and I'm like, this is bad. This is embarrassing. I have a hard enough time speaking English, let alone trying to do an accent. There's so many of these like roof contour lines in this whole piece. It's gonna take a long time. It's so cool to see his face inked in there. Okay. Let me wash this off. And then I'm going to catch up on chat. And then I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. And then we'll go do the bolts with my pen. Pit pen. Oh, where are my pit pens? I have different sizes for these. Probably should do a 0.3. Yeah, 0.3. Yeah, I use these Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens. I like the ink that's inside them. It's really nice. You can use microns too. Similar product, but something about the ink in the Pit pens that I really like. The quality of the ink in there. Did you chew on your sleeves collar of your shirt too? Wait, are you talking about me? Oh, no. I actually would prefer Rocky not to play that video. He takes long enough reading the chat with us. Just imagine if he had tens of thousands of live viewers. It would be a mess. It would be a mess. Say goodbye to this, like, very personal, conscientious host that you guys have right now. Say goodbye when all the throngs of people come. It's over. It's gonna get to my head. I'll be obnoxious. Emo Trash is asking, Cranberry, did you chew on your sleeves collar of your shirt too? Oh, I did that. And like suck on the sleeves. I taste them from time to time. Yeah. Open the links, Rocky. I'm having 3 different conversations. This is fine. Show the chat the candies for context. Okay. What is it? Oh, yeah. But I'm going to have to... Wait. Show the chat. Candies for content. Okay. Tell John I said hi. Emo Trash, well, he always asked about projects I do, so tell him. I've been working on some wood projects recently. Aw, John. I have a friend who just bought a Jack in the Box and Munchie meal or double cheeseburger. Tell John to run for Virginia governor. I like Dr. Doom's mouth design. Yeah, me too. It's this cool speaker. What is it? Metal grate? What is he filtering out of that? Like, why can't we see his mouth? I love how Ema has become our middleman for messaging John. Don't forget Doom's nose like Shelby Robertson did. What? When? John says hello. Are you talking to him right now? Oh, that's nice. Tell John we all said hello. Tell him to get in here. Great minds think alike, as John would say. I wonder if YouTube would let John change his account name now. I don't think that's the reason anymore. You fallen asleep? Tell John we love him. He's sweetie to make sure he eats his food and takes his vitamins. Tell John he can literally change his tag in YouTube. That's something he could have done for many months now. Tell him we recommend Flintstone. I didn't like Flintstone vitamins. I hated them. They were so horrible. I mean, they were cool because they were kids' vitamins, but always chewing them. Yeah, I didn't like them. I still remember what they taste like. I've seen several people use and change names just like former woodworker Sammy. Flick of the wrist and you'll disfigure Doom's face. You'll like that explosion did. Okay, here's Mo Big's explanation of EdTV. In the 90s, screenplays would get passed around Hollywood. What tended to happen if they were any good was a studio would option the screenplay. Then one of their competitors who read it but decided against using it would come out immediately with a similar movie. EdTV was that for Truman Show. Yeah, and they were... I don't think it was that far after Truman Show. I could be wrong about this, that EdTV came out. So, yeah, basically. Never understood why stupidity became so popular. It's like racing to the bottom. Doom has no need for hairy moles. Other examples would be Dante's Peak Volcano, Armageddon Deep Impact, Braveheart Rob Roy. Yeah. Jurassic Park, and what was that one? It was like... I'm thinking of the like $3 movies in the Walmart dollar bin. It was like Transformers and Transmogrifiers. Do you guys remember those movies? I know there's a whole company that... I don't think it's the one that makes Sharknado. It might be. The whole company that specializes in those like knockoff movies. Steampunker says, I only used half a cup of sugar for my Coolicles. I thought it was like 3 cups or something crazy like that. Hungry Jack is Burger King. Okay. That's what I thought. Smash Burgers owned by Filipino McDonald's Jollibees. Is Smash Burgers a brand? I mean, I know it's a way you cook burgers, but I didn't know it was a brand. And it's owned by Jollibees? Awesome. You got it. Jollibees is awesome. Who needs an accent when you have sound of... Who needs an accent when you... Who needs an accent? Ah, jeez. My brain is slowing down too. Let's hear it for the Australian Prime Minister. I didn't click... I feel bad. I didn't click Cranberry's link.
I note that I've taken a lot more trips overseas than anyone could have possibly predicted. But...
Wait, am I going to get struck for this? I might.
The truth is, I love going up into the sky.
Why do you have this on like Quick Draw? All if Rocky's ASMR isn't helping. Oh, sorry. All of Rocky's ASMR isn't helping. It's horrible. High energy video I just showed would wake you up. If Rocky ever does get thousands of viewers, we may have to turn to Discord in order to interact. That would be awesome. That would make it worth it. If that's the goal, I need to get thousands of viewers for you guys to come on Discord. I may have to make that. He can just only read comments where their names are in blue, Steampunker. Yes. My little brother refused to eat the Betty and Wilma Flintstone vitamins because they're girls. I love that. I used to like bite the heads off. Is that messed up? That's kind of messed up. Cranberry's going unconscious. Come on, guys. The night is young. Sharknado I still have to see. 3 cups for a small jar of pickle spears? Ain't no way. I thought it was something crazy like that. I don't know, Mo Biggs. I don't know. Maybe stick with sound effects, Rocky. Yeah. Okay. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to do the bolts. I got to go to the bathroom. Don't anybody fall asleep. I'm going to be right back. Nobody fall asleep. Okay? Hang tight. I better mute this. All right, I'll be right back. trying to find the links you posted, Cram. I couldn't find them. Of the thingamabobbers. They're already gone past the feed. Your indie accent, no it wasn't. Don't lie. I used to bite the heads off. I know, but I never know what I'm gonna get. What's gonna get flagged? It's really annoying. That last time, sometimes I get flagged for just the visual. Sometimes the audio. I don't know. It's really annoying. 3 cups of sugar sounds like I'd be for a large. Maybe that's right. Maybe that's right. I think you're mixing up the Koolickle recipe with the pineapple Kool-Aid recipe. Isn't it the same? Is it different? I just assumed the difference was pickles versus pineapples. Click on my Tootsie Roll and Candy Licks, Mo. That sounds bad. Hey, you guys want to know what I did last weekend? I thought it'd be a good idea to pierce my ears. Oh, jeez. What did you do? Did you use like ice? Ugh. How did you do that? I know when they do piercings at like the mall or whenever they do it at stores, they have that little piercing gun, right? That like. But I know one of my cousins, she did her own piercings and she just used a piece of ice and I think a sterilized needle. I used to bite heads off of Easter bunnies too. I hope you're talking about chocolate ones. Yeah, I think it was far back. Any chain or hoop ones? Oh, too long ago. Okay, here's the link. Okay, now I can see it. Tootsie Fruit Chews. Hang on, let me just make sure it's not all the... There we go. Tootsie Fruit Chews. Yes. Are these the ones that were like... Oh, these are the ones you were saying that I was getting confused with the other ones. I see. Okay, so then the other ones... The other link was... this one. Oh no. The other link was this one. Oh no. I think I was thinking of the fruit chews. I don't think I've ever had a cow tail, which is a horrible name for a candy. Cow tail, cream drops. Ooh, mellow cream pumpkins. Those give me like candy corn vibes. I'm not a fan of candy corn. I don't know anybody who's a fan of candy corn. Do you guys like candy corn? Candy corn's nasty. That tastes like wax. I've had cowtail candies before. Underrated. Oh, really? What is it? What's the flavor? Rocky, Amazon sells at-home piercings for like $9. Get out of town. At-home piercing kits? Is it just a needle and like an ice cube? What is it? Or does it come with a little gun? I'm kind of wussy about... I don't like needles. Actually, I tell this to my kids. I was like, nobody likes needles, because my kids are always like, I don't like needles. Okay, so yeah, using this pen is a lot easier to do a circular shape and control the taper. I know a lot of people who ink straight with these pens all the time. Like Shelby uses technical pens to ink. I've seen him do that, and he does an amazing job with those. You can get like cool tapers and stuff like that. It's faster too, because you don't have to dip anything. You don't have to clean the brush. You don't have to balance the amount of ink on the tip, but I always feel like inking with a brush gives you more of this like organic, exciting line. And as much as I'm like, oh, I gotta correct that, I gotta fix that, I do like the like imperfections that come with brush inking, the kind of happy accidents. It's really fun. All right, there we go. Bolt head or bucket head. That's pretty Dr. Doomish. I love it. The face. Cool. You guys dying? 11:22 my time. Should I call it? You guys are dying. It's just caramel with a cream center. Oh, okay. The studs, that's what comes inside. Sounds like... You've got a radar for this stuff. Okay. Candy corn is horrible. Awesome one says, I agree. Mo Biggs, don't judge me. Melatonin messes you up. Candy corn is basically absolute corn. Emo Trash says she got a pair of studs that got done when I was a baby and went a cartilage piercing on my left that I go back. Oh, gosh. I don't know how people do it, like when they pierce their like belly button or even their nose. I can't imagine the pain that you would feel. I prefer candy pumpkins over candy corn. Rocky was talking about his brushes and for some reason it sounded perverted. No, it didn't. The needle is the earring, and you use the gun to punch the hole in your ear. Gosh. How could they sell that on Amazon? Cranberry says, I thought of getting an ear pierce. I wanted it on my right ear, though. I thought the right ear looked more masculine, but you know why I didn't. Why? What was it? I remember growing up, it was like if you had one piercing as a guy, I can't remember which ear was the wrong ear to put it in if you were straight. Now it doesn't matter. Or do you guys know those like gauge earrings, the ones that make those huge holes and people like... I also don't know how some people could do that. Stop, I did not say that. You guys are dying. I got the extra cartilage piercing in my left because my hair falls to my right. Huh. That's cool. I'm playing Destiny 2, a dead game, and wide awake. Dr. Doom looks good. Old buckethead. Old buckethead indeed. Rocky, the cartilage piercing is literally just the top of my ear rather than the bottom. I know, but there's no flesh up here. Doesn't that hurt? I felt literally nothing when I got it punched. The guy that did it was awesome. Okay. I don't know. Tattoos, like some tattoos can be really cool, but just the pain that goes into getting a tattoo keeps me far away from that option in my life. Not that I come across as like a tattoo kind of guy. I know who I am, but if I did want a tattoo, Yeah, I couldn't do it because all the needle stuff. Because the gaze pierced the ear in the right ear. I guess that was it, right? I can't remember. The right ear was the wrong one. Maybe that was the phrase. I can't remember. In the 80s, depending on which ear dude got piercing, he was either a pirate or... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was going to do 4 piercings, but I decided against it because I realized recently that my ears are sensitive to cheap metal. Yes, the quality of the metal, or the kind of metal, I know people that very sensitive to. I think it's like, if it's not pure silver or something like that, right? Or maybe it's gold, I'm not sure. We are not sure about Phil Diaz. What are we talking about? Steampunker is starting to get irritated with her many typographical errors. Nice. Unhinged had gauges? Really? Then what happened? Did he like stop it and then do they close? Like if you get them that wide and then you stop and you say, yeah, I'm done. Will they close up again? Or do you just have these like honking huge lobes with holes in them after that? It was the right ear. I wanted the ear piercing on the right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. At least with tattoos, that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, there ain't really going back to tattoos. You get a tattoo, that's it. You got to commit to that, like, pretty much until it stretches out and fades out and looks horrible as an old person. Oh, I know. I'll do this little nubby at the top. But what do you guys think? 11:28. I think I should call it, right? You guys are all fading. I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth anymore. We hit a good stopping point here. I mean, I could do this stuff here, but I think it's good. I think I should stop while I'm ahead. Otherwise, ink spillage might happen, and I'll regret. My sister can't have fake silver as it irritates her skin. Fake or flake metals for any piercings. Yeah, there was. I knew that. It was like something like, this would be 100% pure or something or other. Awesome one does not like tattoos on a woman. Yuck. I've seen some tasteful tattoos, for sure. Some very artistic stuff, some like beautifully done that have looked cool on people. But it's always like, for how long, right? Like, once you get to be like my age or older and things start shifting and you gain weight in areas you don't want to and things are sagging more than they should be, what's going to happen to that tattoo? Unless you have like a tiny one on your wrist, maybe, or... But I've seen some cool tattoos on women. Stainless steel bare minimum. Toy, have to get them sewn up. Oh, you have to get them sewn up, or if they're small enough, sometimes they can oh, gosh. Ugh. Mo Biggs is full of crack energy. Crack pack, right? Right? Crack pack. Medical grade stainless steel. Sterling silver, gold, and I think a few others are the metal that are the least sensitive for a lot of earring wearers. It's 1:28 a.m. for awesome one. Otherwise, it's, I think, a 10 karat gold should be the minimum if that's her preference. Cranberries, it's on a second wind right now. Let's close the show out with the Australian... Okay, we could do that. There's also a bare minimum for sterling silver, but I'd like to ask my mom. I'd have to ask my mom again. Wow, so specific. No. No, she's not. Bag, sag, and drag. There it is. Hashtag crackpal. Okay, let's watch this. What is this? YouTube be damned. Let me close all these windows. Is this the same link you sent me earlier?
I note that I've taken a lot more trips overseas than anyone could have possibly predicted. But the truth is, I love going up into the sky. Literally on my first day in office, within hours of being sworn in.
Hours of
I
being
was on
sworn in.
the plane, looking out the windows with a big smile on my face. Delighted.
Delighted.
There's nothing quite like sitting in a seat on a plane, looking out at the soft clouds, pretending that they're all fluffy white bunnies hopping in the sky.
Is he popular
This
as
is
the Prime
a really
Minister?
exciting activity that makes me very happy and a great way to spend taxpayers' money. And I'm really looking forward to meeting Winnie the Pooh.
Cranberry says, yeah, no video, just audio. Oh, I mean, I can. Okay, I can. I was purposely doing that because of striking, whatever, but who cares, right? Or this part of the video, what happens if I get flagged is I'll have to edit it out, which is annoying. But it's okay. We'll do it. It's late. Who cares?
On my holiday to China. And now, on that note, we have a plane to catch. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you there.
You just said don't do the video. Why? Don't do it. Too late. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's too late. Oh my goodness. Okay, where are we at? That's it. Now, because I paused, now I'm losing energy. There it is. Cool. We got a significant amount done. Dr. Doom is coming along, but good night. We are not anywhere near finished. Not only the rest of this, which there's not that much left on this side, but this is going to be insane. This is a lot. I remember penciling this part, so it's going to be a lot. A lot of inking. Look at all these X's. This is where I have to fill in the black here. Arguably has more ink on that part of the page than on the top half. Well, that's not true. I gotta fill in. Oh, maybe I will use I'll definitely use a crappier brush here for this, all this black stuff that has to be inked up here. But cool. The only other catch I realized is well, it's stupid. I won't even mention it. The the thumbnails for the Master Study streams, I don't think I've gone past, I don't know, I have to go back and check, because this is the 7th stream if I'm not mistaken, and we've only just now started. Yeah, this is part 7. We've only now just dented the inks, but this is gonna go for another, I don't know, it's gonna take me another at least 4 streams to finish this, 3 or 4 streams, unless I do some off stream. So yeah, I don't even know if I have the right, if I can even do that in the thumbnail, because I have up to part 7 or maybe 9 was the highest. I can't remember. I'll have to double check. Dumb things that I think about when I was making the thumbnail. I was like, oh shoot, am I gonna have enough numbers to go up as high as we need to? Anyway, This was a fun and chaotic stream. It was a little weird, but I'm happy that nothing disastrous happened on the inking side. That's all that matters. Maybe on the chat side it did, but you know, that's okay. We can live with that. Mobig says, good work so far. Thank you, Mobig. Ciao and God bless. Not Joe Biden in the recommended. Is he in the recommended? Oh, I see. It's because I clicked on something political or something. I don't know. I'm all self-conscious now. You guys are looking at my recommended stuff. There's got some weird stuff in there. Let's see. What is it right now? How to delete all viruses on the iPhone. Because I clicked this one video about this guy doing settings for spam calls. So same guy. Portrait drawing live stream, that tracks. Hex, the new Disney teaser trailer, which looks not that great. Looks just like Frozen, but witches. This is why comic shops fail. I haven't watched that one. Healthy masculinity. Wow, that must have just listened to us and given that recommendation, because we were just talking about earrings and all that. Tattoos, maybe. Ink Pulp Podcast, love those guys. What else? Why YouTube won't push your content. That tracks. There's my recommendations for you guys. Anyway, the video's not that big of a deal. Lovely, though. It is. I never even pulled out my own drawing. Shame for shame, Emo Trash. Got distracted. Maybe it was your smoke detector. Only count to 4. Yeah, so the numbers I use in my thumbnails are like, it's not numbers you type in, they're just icons. And I don't know if those icons go up higher than 9.